G'day guys, and welcome to this business management lesson. In today's lesson, we're looking at key knowledge point 4.2.10. That is Unit 4, Area of Study 2, and the 10th key knowledge point for this area of study. Today specifically, we're looking at the importance of reviewing key performance indicators to evaluate the effectiveness of business transformation. That might as well also say to evaluate the effectiveness of business change, considering that's what the transformation refers to in this area of study. Now, we should know by now that key performance indicators can be used to measure the health of your business. And typically, you're going to make a change in your business to improve the health of your business, to increase its competitiveness, to increase its productivity, or to reduce level of wastage, reduce costs, to increase the profitability of your company. Whatever it is, when you implement change in a business, it's because there is likely a problem or an opportunity to take advantage of. Either way, we should see a change in our key performance indicators if that change is successful. You need to know whether, when you implement a change, A, it's had the impact you were hoping for, B, there are any unintended consequences, and C, if there are unintended consequences, and particularly if those are negative consequences, if you can see a problem in your KPI data, that you can then take corrective action. Let's give an example. Let's say you are Foxtel, and in the 2010s, you noticed a growing trend that streaming services like Netflix and Crunchyroll were starting to take market share away from you. Customers were much more interested in paying $20, $30 a month for these streaming services instead of paying $100, $150 a month for your cable TV network. Well, over time, Foxtel was losing a huge number of customers. And in 2019, Foxtel's customers dropped by almost 200,000 people, which is a lot. And so Foxtel had to think about a way that they could address this hemorrhaging, this absolute bleeding of customers, this loss of sales, this decline in their market share. And the change they implemented was to fight fire with fire and develop their own streaming services, KO and Binge, to compete with the competitors that were taking away their market share. KO was the Fox Sports programs, and Binge was the entertainment content licensed to Foxtel. And implementing these two strategies, they could have just done it and then closed their eyes, rubbed their hands together and said, job done. But that would be very bad business management. In fact, they could see, once they had made this change, that their customers were increasing again, and they were regaining the market share that they had previously lost. So they could say, by evaluating their key performance indicators, that this change had been effective. And it was important for them to evaluate their key performance indicators, otherwise they wouldn't have ever known how effective it was, or whether or not it was effective at all. This key knowledge point uses the terminology, the importance of evaluating key performance indicators to determine the effectiveness of business transformation. So we've got to be able to answer the question why it is important. And I've already alluded to that. Key performance indicators in the initial stages might reveal to you the need for change. If your level of wastage is going up, if your staff absenteeism is going up, if your number of customer complaints are going up, then you know you need to make a change. If your sales are going down, if your net profit is going down, if your percentage of market share is going down, then you've identified a need for change. And if you're going to make a change to fix that problem, you want to see that the problem is fixed by looking at the key performance indicator data. If your net profit was going down and you implemented lean management to reduce the number of inputs you need, to eliminate defects, to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of your operations system, then you evaluate your key performance indicator data afterwards and see that net profit is still going down, then you know that operations wasn't the problem and it's something else, and you need to keep looking for a solution. If you didn't evaluate your key performance indicator data afterwards and assumed that the problem had been fixed by implementing lean management, your business is going to run into trouble and you won't see it coming. However, if you do implement lean management and then net profit begins to rise again, you can say that lean management seems to have solved the problem, but it's important to keep an eye on it, because what if it rises for a little while and then starts to decline again? Once again, you'll need to look for further solutions. Key performance indicator at any one time can be looked at to determine the health of your business, but you need to monitor it over time to look for trends. And specifically, after implementing change, you need to be looking for the impacts, the ripples that change has caused in your business. And the only effective way to do that is to look at your key performance indicator data. What if you weren't looking at your data? How would you identify if there were problems in your business? And if you're not looking for problems, if you're not trying to identify when things are going wrong, how are you possibly going to fix those problems? If you don't know that there are problems, how could you possibly implement strategies to improve your business in ways that matter? You couldn't possibly. You would be uninformed. It'd be like trying to navigate a maze with a blindfold on. It'd be much, much more difficult. So we look at our key performance indicator indicator data to identify the need for change. And once we've made a change, we look at our key performance indicator data to identify the impacts of that change. In summary for this key knowledge point, it is so important to look at your key performance indicator data. And when you've made a change, you expect things to change in your business. You need to look at your key performance indicator data to see if it had the expected change. If your data goes from bad to good after a change, that's great. You know that it has worked and you're back on track. If your data goes from bad to worse after a change, you know that you have not had the intended impact with your change and you'll need to take further corrective action. Or further still, if your data that you were addressing, if your sales has gone up after a change, but your rate of productivity growth is declining and your customer complaints are increasing, then you know that there has been unintended consequences of this change and you'll yet need to take further action. As far as the importance of looking at key performance indicator data to monitor the effectiveness of change, it cannot be understated that it is important to monitor your key performance indicator data to monitor the health of your business and to look for opportunities to take corrective action to increase and maintain the success and the health of your business. Well, that's the last key knowledge point for Unit 4. So well done on making it this far. I hope you've enjoyed studying VCE Business Management. That's all for today. See you next time.